Hi, Ashley here with hearthookhome.com, and my son has asked me for a new hacky sack, so we are going to make one on video together. For a hacky sack, you need a 100% worsted weight cotton yarn. This is a cone of dishy cotton in the red, I think it's Fiesta colorway, and a 4mm crochet hook. I am going to need a stitch marker to mark the first stitch of each round as I go along. So in order to get started, we're going to do a magic circle, and I do have a dedicated tutorial for the magic circle on the Heart Hook Home website and the YouTube channel. This technique is beautiful, and if you weave in your ends thoroughly enough, which is the key, you'll love it too. So now that I've got my magic circle, I'm going to place 8 single crochets in the circle, and that's the thing with this hacky sack. It is made up completely of single crochets. There's 8. And now pull the magic circle shut. Beautiful. Now we're going to do 2 single crochets in each of those single crochets. So we're going to go from 8 to 16 stitches. So in the first stitch here, we're going to place 2 single crochets. I'm going to mark the first stitch there so that I don't lose it or forget it. And now I'm going to do 2 single crochets in each of these stitches all the way around. Remove that stitch marker, and now for round 3, we're going to do 1 single crochet in each around. So we are doing no increasing or anything. I am going to do that first stitch and then place that stitch marker, and we will do 1 stitch all the way around. Now I'm ready for round 4. Before I do that, I'm going to pull my magic circle a little bit more tight just to kind of cinch that up just a little bit more. I felt that close. Look at that. Beautiful. Now we're going to do round 4, which is single crochet in the next. Let me pull my yarn here. For round 4, we're going to do a single crochet in the next. Let's mark that before we continue on. Then we're going to do 2 single crochets in the next. 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next. And we're going to do that all the way around. Now for round 5, we're going to do a solid single crochet row. So just single crochet around. All right, for round 6, we'll do single crochet in the first 2 stitches, and before I go on, I'm going to mark that first one there. So single crochet in 2 stitches, 2 single crochet in the next. Single crochet in 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in the next, all the way around. Now for rounds 7 through 10, we're just going to do single crochet rounds. So we're going to do 7, 8, 9, 10, no increasing, no nothing. It's going to start taking more of a spherical shape. So let's do the next 4 rounds together or off camera, and then we'll hook up back together. So now that we've made it through round 10, we're going to do round 11, which is our first decrease row. So first, remove the stitch marker. We're going to do a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to decrease these 2 together. So first, make your first 2 stitches. Mark that. And then number 2. And I'm going to use the invisible decrease for mine. In order to do that, you only want to take the front loop of each of these stitches. Kind of rotate it down and get that one, and then treat it like a single crochet, and it makes a much more invisible decrease. So now I'm going to do a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, and then we're going to decrease. And we're going to do this all the way around for row 11, or round 11. Now for round 12, we're going to do a regular single crochet row with no decreases. So we're going to mark that first stitch made. And we're just going to single crochet all the way around. For round 13, we are doing another decrease row. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next, mark it. And then we're going to do one of those decreases using the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next, and now we're going to do a decrease in the next 2 stitches. And we're going to do that all the way around. All right, at this point, our hacky sack is starting to close up. So we're going to need to fill it with whatever you're going to fill yours with. You can use beans, you can use lentils, you can use popcorn, you can use rice. As you can see, I will be using popcorn for mine. Hopefully it doesn't go everywhere. If it does, we will get it. Let's see. And my son today has requested a slightly firmer hacky sack so that it doesn't flop around too much. A little bit more stuffing than normal. All right, let's see, that might be too much. But I've also got 2 more rounds of crochet to go, so that might actually be pretty perfect if we're wanting it to stay nice and without collapsing. So for the next round, we are going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch around, and I'm just going to do this as carefully as I can. I might lose some kernels and I will pop them back in when I get a little bit closer. I'm going to actually count this instead of using my stitch markers because it's going to be hard for me to place that stitch marker right now. So 1, 2, and I should have 16. Now that I've made it all the way back around, I'm going to gather my my escaped kernels here, plop them in, and now we've only got 1 round left. We're going to do a decrease in we're going to do 8 decreases basically. So we're going to take it from 16 down to 8, and then we're going to use a yarn needle and sew it all together. So we've got decreasing all the way around. This might be a little bit tricky with all of the stuffing in there. You might need to pop the kernels back in here in a minute. If you're not doing yours overstuffed, then you might not have such a hard time. Let's do these decreases. We're gonna do 1 more for 8. I'm gonna get the scissors and clip our yarn, leaving enough of a yarn tail. Here, let's pop these back in here real quick. Feed these kernels down in there. All right, I think we have got all of our escaped kernels here. Now we're going to clip this yarn over here, giving us enough of a yarn tail to do our magic. Go ahead and pull that tail all the way through. We're going to thread our yarn needle here. And we're just going to kind of rotate it around or whip stitch it through all of these single crochets. And then we are going to pull that nice and tight. Let's get the tail out of the way first. We're going to go around and around. And when we pull that tight, it should cinch it nice and tight. Nice. So now we're just going to kind of make sure that it's nice and closed up. And we'll sew it all together. And weave in our ends. I like to weave in my ends very thoroughly, especially with a project like this that's literally going to be kicked around a lot. So here we have a beautiful little hacky sack. Isn't that great? I'm going to weave in these ends, give it to my son, and we'll see how long it lasts. So thanks for watching, guys. I will crochet with you next time.